Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine.
What some people are saying is that, sometimes the people tend to color their stories or tilt the story or bend the stories, after being compromised in one way or the other. How do you react to that?
There are people that have found themselves in the profession as a result of mercantile consideration.
Okay.
There are people that are there for pecuniary interests. There are people that are there to eke out a living. There are people that are there to serve humanity. Everybody that has found themselves in the profession, they have their own, what they have in mind, their motivation. It's not peculiar to media practice. Yes, in every 12, there will be a Judas.
A Judas.
It exists everywhere. There are still people that can do that job and do it without being compromised. So you still get such characters, but they are not enough to be used to color the entire profession.
Interesting.
There are people that have excelled over the years. They have maintained their high level of morality, integrity, credibility, trust, and they are still in the profession. And yet, they are not hungry.
Interesting. Now, what exactly got you interested in journalism in the first place?
Well, I set out to be a lawyer in the first place. But
Okay.
when I took the university matriculation exam, I didn't get up to the cutoff mark.
Okay.
To study law. And the two professions that I had a special interest in were, and they are still, law, journalism. Because these are two professions that are unique and they look alike. As a journalist, you're expected to have an idea of everything. As a lawyer, you're also expected to have an idea of everything. Because as a lawyer, you could be called up tomorrow to defend an engineer, a journalist, or anybody. Same with journalists. There are journalists that are involved in law. They are oil and gas. They are in different sectors, and they are doing well. They are journalists. So when I couldn't make that, that was how I now took my second love, second passion.
Okay. Now, as the NUJ president, do you still write stories, or you're on sabbatical now?
I'm not on sabbatical. I still write stories. I'm the bureau chief. That's the regional editor of This Day in the Southeast. So I still do my job. I may not be there, 247. But
so which one? You still do your job, yes. Which was the last story you wrote?
I make sure that my byline.
Which was the last story you wrote?
The last story I wrote has to do with Arinze. Arinze's reaction to I can't remember it immediately, but it has to do with the report on Arinze, which of course is an Igbo social cultural organization.
All right. So, which was the last interview you conducted? Do you still have time to do interviews?
Yes, I conduct interviews, and the one I conducted, or the one I was the newsmaker.
The one that you conducted.
This thing they are there. The last interview I think is an interview with the governor of Ebonyi State, actually.
Okay. Now, most journalists, once they attain the heights, where you are now, the next thing they do is to veer into politics. Talking about Sani, Turo, Smart Adeyemi, and co. at the end of your tenure, are you going to continue with journalism, or you're also going to delve into politics like they did?
What is politics? What is journalism? You are
Well,
talking about,
when you quit a professional practice, I mean, those ones no longer write stories. They do more of politics now. You know the mass politicians now.
When you talk about politics, when you talk about journalism, you are talking about service to humanity.
Okay.
You're talking about service, you know. And even if I no longer, I'm no longer the president of NUJ, it does not stop me from delivering service to humanity. So if the service is not going to continue in the office of the president of NUJ, it can also continue in other areas.
Continue elsewhere.
Yes, that is service.
I like that. Now, what is the greatest lesson that becoming the NUJ president has taught you?
Patience. Tolerance. You come face to face with so many characters, all manners of people, and you must be patient with everybody. I used to be highly temperamental, but since I had the opportunity of serving humanity at the level of the NUJ, vice president, then president, I have tamed myself by myself. Because if you allow your temperament to take the better of you, you are undoing yourself. So, like I said, greatest lesson is tolerance.
Interesting.
You must be patient with everybody that comes your way. And the leadership, I've also come to appreciate the fact that as a leader, you become a dustbin. Everybody bring their refuse and dump it on you. Everybody, they don't care. You have a choice anyway, and that choice is to quit.
Interesting.
So you must appreciate that status of dustbin.
Interesting. Now, so far, what would you describe as the toughest challenge that you have faced as the NUJ president?
Well, toughest challenge. I've not been able to get the issue of non-payment of salaries fully addressed. It remains, that service or the unionism is about welfare. And welfare does not necessarily mean dipping your hand in your pocket and giving out alms. If you're able to get what people are entitled to and they get them, you have addressed their problem. The fact that I wake up in the morning, like today, by 5 a.m., somebody called me, from a particular media house. I'm not going to mention the name. And she was like, President, you got 30% for us the other time. It's still, we still have 70% outstanding. What is happening? 5 a.m. So I think that remains a challenge for me.
Okay. Now, what would you describe as the sweetest thing about being the NUJ president? What has been the sweetest thing about being the NUJ president?
Well, the fact that doors open on their own accord. It's so difficult that you want to reach out to the powers that be, and it's not possible. As a president, it's a lot easier. You have opportunity of meeting, high net worth people, you relate with them. I think that's it. And the fact that you get problems solved for people at that level too.
All right. I need us to round off on this note. Tell us more about yourself. I mean, we already know some of the... No, just tell us, how would you describe yourself? How would you sum up yourself? Let us even hear this from the horse's mouth. I mean, because I started by telling them a little about you. You now tell us about Yes,
Well,
things that you think we should know about you that we do not know, most people do not know about.
well, I appear like a normal extrovert, but I am not. I stay to myself. And some people from a distance also see me as a very difficult person. That is a facade I have created. But if you come a lot closer, you will see that beyond that facade is a man filled with kindness. You know, I'm also a community leader.
I know you're the president general of your. Yeah, I
I'm the
was.
president general of my Omokabia Progressive Movement worldwide. You know, I'm also a committed Christian. I'm an ordained deacon of the Church of God Mission Idahosa World Outreach. And I am somebody that has passion for service. That's why when you are talking about when you leave this, are you going to delve into this? I said, no, it's service. So long as we are going to deliver service. I want to be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria someday.
I like that.
So that I will have the opportunity to serve humanity at a larger scale. It will also be an opportunity to give the country a template of what service leadership should be all about.
Interesting.
You know? So, I think I've told you what, and nobody, I've not told you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, my president. Thank you so much. All those that joined us this night, thank you very much. We are grateful. Thank you very much. My president, thank you very much for your time, for your thoughts and everything. I'm grateful. Thank you.
I appreciate
Thank you.